Hello everyone, and thank you for everyone who watches my videos on YouTube. The more you subscribe, the more videos I will put or upload on YouTube. Now, our lesson today is the present simple. I have got 8 questions for you as usual. I always put questions to help you think, because when you think about grammar, you learn it very quickly and easily, and you will not forget it. So I've got 8 questions for you about the present simple. That's question 1. Does the simple present have another name? Question 2. What is simple present? What is it? Question number 3. What is a tense? Question 4. What does a tense show or express? Question 5. How many tenses are there in English? Question number 6. Why do we call it present? Why do we call it present? Number 7. Why do we call it simple? And the last question is, why do we use it? I will leave it for 1 minute for you to think about the answers, and then I will show you the answers and explain everything easily and slowly. Ready? I will show you the answers now. Now, the first question, does the simple present have another name? Yes, it has. Sometimes we call it present simple. So some books call it simple present, some books call it present simple. So it's the same one. Question number 2. What is simple present? The answer is it is a tense. It is a tense. Question 3. What is a tense? A tense is a verb form, and a main verb is the most important word in a sentence. I repeat, because this is a very important sentence. A tense is a verb form. So a verb form is a tense, and a tense is a verb form. They are the same. So when we speak about the tense, it means we speak about the verb. I read it again. A tense is a verb form, and a main verb is the most important word in a sentence. So if you have a sentence, what is the most important word in the sentence? It is the verb. Number 4. What does a tense show or express? Why we have tenses in English? Why we have so many tenses? What do they show? What do they express? What do they tell us? Now, the answer is each tense expresses a meaning, and that is why we have many tenses in English. So each tense expresses a meaning. Sometimes we have more than one meaning from the same tense. And if you change the tense, what do we change? We change, yeah? Yes, right you are. We change meaning. Number 5. How many tenses are there in English? We have 12 tenses. Or you can say there are 12 tenses in English. We have 4 present tenses, 4 past tenses, and 4 future tenses. And I think we need a lot of explanation on these tenses. But today our lesson is only on the present simple tense. And now this is very important. Why do we call it present? We call it present because we use the present form of a verb. So we use the present form of the verb, and that's why we call it present. And I will show you examples, a lot of examples. Why do we call it simple? We call it simple because it has 1 verb only. So in English, we have 12 tenses, Two tenses use one verb. The present simple tense uses one verb, and the past simple tense uses one verb. And then the other 10 tenses, they use two verbs or more than two verbs. So again, I repeat, why do we call it simple? We call it simple because it has one verb only. Remember this. Question number 8. Why do we use the present simple tense? Why do we use the simple present tense? Of course, you can say present simple, you can say simple present, you can say present simple tense, you can say simple present tense, no problem. Now, why do we use, this is question 8, why do we use the present simple? The answer is, we use the present simple to express or to show, and I put them in blue for you. Number 1, a habit. Number 2, a fact. Number 3, future with a plan. So, a habit. The simple present tense expresses a habit. Example, I often go for a walk in a park. And this is the present simple tense. So the verb go is simple present tense. And as I said, a tense is the verb form. So when we say present simple, we look at the verb. And this is the verb. It is simple present. Now this sentence means it is my habit to go for a walk in a park. This sentence means it is my habit to go for a walk in a park. But English people say this in a different way. They say, I often go for a walk in a park. But what is the meaning of this sentence? What did I say? It is my habit to go for a walk in a park. Sentence number 2. The simple present tense expresses a fact, a scientific fact, a fact from science. And this means it is always true and everyone agrees with this, fact. I work in Birmingham. I work in Birmingham. Or you can say, for example, the sun rises in the east. I'll put this as a scientific fact. I work in Birmingham. This is again a fact. But it's not a scientific fact. The sun rises in the east. This is a scientific fact. So we go now to question number 3. Why do we use the present simple tense? We use the simple present tense to express future with a plan. So if you speak about future and you have a plan, you have to use the simple present tense. But which plan? Especially at airports, train stations and bus stations. And this is, number 3 is for entry 3, intermediate and above. The number 3. So don't worry about it if you find it difficult. So if you look at this example, flight 768H leaves Birmingham Airport at 2. Of course, 2, it means 2 in the morning. So leaves in this sentence, it means, if I want to give you the meaning of this sentence, I will say it slowly. There is a plan for flight 768H to leave Birmingham Airport at 2 o'clock in future. And this is the meaning of the sentence. If you want, you can play, the video again and listen to the explanation again. Next one, remember, the following adverbs of time are used with the present simple. So you've got always, which is 100%, usually, which is 90%. Of course, this is my own explanation. If I say 90, it doesn't mean like exactly 90, but just to help you with the explanation, I say 90%. If you say 91, no problem, 92. All I am trying to say, usually, is weaker than always. And the same for the other times. So always is 100%. usually is 90%, normally or generally is 80%, frequently is 85%, and I have to put frequently before, I think frequently before, so I can take this one here. It was typing mistake, sorry. So frequently 85%, and then normally and generally and often, this is 80%, sometimes 70%, occasionally 60%, and rarely or seldom or hardly ever 10%. And then again, I can delete this one here. I will delete it. Twice, it means 2 times. Once, it means 1 time. And never means, it means 0. Again, I repeat, these percentages like 10%, 20%, 30%, it's just, an idea for you to understand. I just deleted like hardly ever 5%, and then I put 10. If you put 5, 7, 8, 10, but you have to know rarely is weaker than occasionally. Occasionally is weaker than sometimes. Sometimes is weaker than often. And this is how you should understand it. Of course, you don't need all of these, but if you are a high level, you need to know all of them. So I repeat, always means 100%, never is 0%. But, all these, adverbs of time, we use them with the present simple tense. So these help you to find the present simple tense quickly if you are doing a grammar question. And also, if you are writing English, you can remember, oh yes, I can use these adverbs of time in my writing. So try to focus on always, I think, usually, sometimes, and hardly ever. These are used a lot in English. But if you know all of them, and if you are a high-level student, that's really great. This means, you have got very good English and you can color your language. Now, this one, verb to be in the present, as you can see, I drew the table for you. You've got subject, you've got affirmative, which means positive. This is negative, and this is interrogative. Now, in this column, I put the subject for you. And if you remember from lessons before, I said the subject is I, you, he, she, it, we, they, or the subject can be a name of person or names of people. It can be name of animals, name of plants. So that is the subject. Now, the present simple tense is this one, the verb. It is the verb. And the same here, the present simple tense is the verb here. So not is not present simple tense. So let's look at the first one. So these are the subjects. So with I use am. The negative, am not. So this is present simple tense. Not, this is not simple present tense. This is, we use it just to make negative. So I, and then am is the verb, which is present simple tense. The negative, I am not. Interrogative, am I here, for example. You are not, and then are you here. He is not, is he here. She is not, is she here. It is not, is it here. We are not, are we here. They are not, are they here. So this is what we call verb to be in the present simple tense. And as I explained before, all these are verb to be and they are in the present. And the same here, we have them here again, but not is not, the verb. It's just we use it to make negative. And the same here, I, you, he, she, it, we, they, these are subjects. The present simple tense is this one here, am, are, etc. Now, let's move on. The same table, but about a different verb, which is very important verb. So again here, verb to have in the present simple tense. These are the subjects, and then I have, I don't have. The negative is I don't have. You cannot say I haven't, unless you say I haven't got a pen, for example, that's okay. But the negative is I don't have, and the interrogative, do I have. Again, these are what, the present simple tense, verbs. Which verbs? Verb to have, and then here have is the verb, the present simple, but I is the subject, and do not, we use it to make negative. So always think the present simple tense is one verb, as I said. And the same here, this is present simple, but do is, we only use it to make questions. I is the subject. So just think about have in this table. Have is the present simple tense. So I'm going to read the table. I have, I don't have, do I have. For example, do I have a pen? You have, you don't have, and do you have. He has, oops, this is a mistake, a big mistake. He has, sorry, it's a typing mistake. He has, he doesn't have, So after doesn't, you have to use have. So he does not have. So as you can see, we put es when we use he, we put does and es for does, and then we put have. And then the question is the same, does he have? We cannot say does he has, it is wrong English. Does he have? If you use does, you have to use have after he all the time. The same, she has, she does not have. Again, the negative is does not have. All the time after does, we use have. We cannot use has. And the same, if it's a question, after does, we use have. Does she have? It has, it doesn't have, does it have? We have, we don't have, do we have? They have, they don't have, do they have? Now some of you may be now thinking about I have got, etc. And here it is. I have and I have got have the same meaning, but we use have got in informal English. Informal English. Let's move on. Now verb to do in the present. So I tried to choose the most important verbs for you, and I put them in tables, as you can see. Again, subjects, these are the subjects, and these are present, verb to do in the present simple tense. It is here, verb to do in the present simple tense. This is the negative of verb to do, and this is the interrogative. Again, do is the present simple, is not the present simple. We use it only to make negative. Again here, sleep is the present simple, but do we use it to make questions, and I is the subject. So again I repeat, the present simple is here, and it is how many verbs? How many verbs? Yes, you said one verb, well done. I do, I do not, and the question, do I sleep? You do, you do not, do I or do you sleep? He does not, does he sleep? Again we use here does. With he and she and it, we use does, and I put it in green for you, so you remember. She does not, does she? It does not, does it? We do, we don't, or we do not, no problem. Do we? They do not, and then do they. So this is verb to do in the present simple tense. Now, this is a grammar rule for you about spelling. If a verb ends in s, s, sh, ch, x, and o, add es when you use he, she, or it. So he, she, it kisses. As you can see, kiss has double s, and we have to put es, and because it has got double S. Push has got SH, so I put ES. If I put S wrong, you have to put ES. Watch has CH, I put ES. Mix, it has got X, I put ES. And O, here you put ES. So he kisses, he, she, it kisses if you want. He, she, he pushes, she pushes, it pushes. So every time you see double S, SH, CH, X or O, you have to put ES. And that is the present simple tense, spelling rule for the present simple tense. If a verb ends in Y and before Y there is a consonant, then you have to change Y into I and add ES. So if you look here, try has got Y. Before Y we have got A. A is a consonant. So what you do, you change A into I and you put ES. I can put this in green for you, you can see it better. So I try, we try. But he tries. She tries. It tries. I repeat, we change Y into I and we add ES. Why? Because before Y we have a consonant. If a verb ends in Y and before Y there is a vowel, you do not change anything, but you only add the third person singular S. So when you use he or she or it. So if I say, we say, but he says, she says, it says. Now, as you can see here, before Y, what do we have? We have got A. A is a vowel, so we don't change the Y. We don't change the Y before a vowel. So we just put S. We don't put ES. So I repeat, we only put S after Y. Why? Because before Y we have a vowel. And we have to say, he says, she says, it says. Some people say he says, I don't know why. Or she says, it's wrong. He says, she says, it says. This is for your pronunciation. Okay, let's move on. Now, this is verb to run, again in the present. It's a main verb. And then these are the subjects, again, run, again. And when you use he or she or it, you put runs. And here, you have to use do for negative, as you can see. Do not, I do not. Run. The question, do I run? You run. You do not run. Do you run? He runs. He does not run. And as I said, after does, the verb is here, run. We don't put S to it. We don't put S to it. Does he run? Again, after does, we don't put S to the verb. She runs. She does not run. Does she run? It runs. It does not run. Does it run? We run. We don't run. Do we run? They run. They do not run. Do they run? So of course, because this is YouTube, you can always watch and repeat and watch and repeat and watch and repeat and look at the table. So sorry if I was reading a bit fast, but I'm sure you'll understand it. It's not difficult because I explained this 2 or 3 times. Verb to be and then verb to have. Okay, let's move on. Now, other uses of the present simple tense. These are for maybe high-level students if you want. But some students like to work hard and they want to learn, nearly everything about the present simple tense. So we use the present simple with verbs which we cannot use in the continuous form. So believe, love, and see. Example, I believe you are right. I cannot say I am believing, so I cannot use believe in the present continuous tense. That is why I have to use the present simple tense. And as I said at the beginning of the lesson, we use the present simple tense to express or to show. Number 1, what's number 1? Habit. Very good. Number 2, fact or scientific fact. And number 3, what's number 3? We use the present simple tense to express what? Future with a plan. Especially, as I said, at airports, train stations, and bus stations. So here, again, we cannot use the present continuous. I cannot say I am loving, I am seeing. You have to use the present simple tense. So this is believe is the verb and it is the simple present tense. And I repeat again, the present simple tense has how many verbs? One verb. Very good. I can hear you saying it. Now, we have the historical present. What's this historical present? And we use this tense when we describe the action of a story, even if the story happened in the past. Example, Hamlet enters his room and speaks to his father. So maybe here you are speaking about Hamlet and this is a story. You can use the past simple tense, it's not wrong, but we have the historical present and many people like it, especially in their writing or at the university, they use the historical present. When you use the historical present to tell a story, it means the story or the drama, if you want, is live again. It's not dead, it's live. So it's a good idea to use the historical present. But don't do this in the exam because maybe teachers think you don't know how to use the past to tell a story. But some teachers understand, I understand it. Now, number 3, we use the present simple in simple tense, of course, this is extra. We use the present simple tense in conditional sentences. And we have 3 types. I will explain type 1 for you. Example, if I see my father, I will take him on holiday. So see, this is the present simple. Will is the present of would, as you know, and take is the present. And here we have future. Now, the verb see here is present. It looks present. If you look at it, it's present. But the meaning of the verb see is what? Is present or future. So if I say, if I see my father, I will take him on holiday. What's the meaning of this sentence? Number 1, it is, possible for me to see my father. And if I see my father, I will take him on holiday. This is the first meaning. The second meaning, it is possible for me to see my father in the future. And if I see my father in the future, I will take him on holiday. So here we use present and it looks present, but it has 2 meanings. And as I said, this is a high level, but maybe you will find it interesting, or some of you may find it interesting. And that's it for today. Thank you for watching my video. If you liked it, can you please click on subscribe so I can upload more videos for you. Thank you very much.